Hello and welcome to this discussion on the CIS Critical Security Controls Navigator. If you want to see how the CIS Critical Security Controls fit into your broader security program, the CIS Controls Navigator will help you to explore how they map to other security standards. If you'd like to learn more about the 18 CIS controls and their safeguards, I've created a series of videos that you can watch at the location below, and I'll include that as a link in this video. Let's start learning more about the Navigator and how to use it. The CIS Critical Security Controls Navigator is an interactive tool developed by the CIS to assist organizations in implementing and managing the CIS controls framework. This framework comprises a prioritized set of cybersecurity best practices designed to defend against the most prevalent cyber attacks. What is the purpose of the CIS Controls Navigator? 1. Mapping to other frameworks. The Navigator allows organizations to see how the CIS controls align with other security standards and compliance frameworks such as NIST, ISO, PCI DSS, and HIPAA. This mapping helps organizations understand how implementing the CIS controls can support their compliance efforts. 2. Tailored implementation. Users can select their version of the CIS controls and their implementation group, or IG, which defines the level of cybersecurity maturity. This customization helps organizations prioritize and implement controls that are appropriate for their specific needs and resources. 3. Tracking and management. The Navigator provides tools to track progress, manage safeguards, and export data, facilitating ongoing management and improvement of an organization's cybersecurity posture. 4. Alignment with modern environments. The tool supports organizations transitioning to cloud-based and hybrid environments, ensuring that the CIS controls remain relevant and effective in contemporary IT landscapes. In summary, the Navigator serves as a comprehensive resource for organizations to implement, manage, and align their cybersecurity practices with industry standards and compliance requirements. To access the Navigator, go to the link shown on the page. This is at www.cisecurity.org/controls/CIS-controls-navigator. You'll see a drop-down for the CIS controls version, the steps to perform when using the Navigator, mappings to various frameworks, and the CIS implementation group, or IGs. For step 1, you need to select the version of CIS controls you are currently using within your organization. Click the drop-down on the left of the page to see the latest 3 versions, being 8.1, 8, and 7.1. If you are using an older version, you will need to access this via the CIS Workbench, which requires registering with CIS. For step 2, open the blue Mappings drop-down and check the box to select the compliance frameworks you need, such as NIST Cybersecurity Framework, NIST 800-53, ISO or IEC 27001, PCI DSS, HIPAA, COBIT, and a number of other frameworks. For step 3, click on the See Details option under each of the mappings. You'll see that by default all details are being applied. You can manage your selection by unchecking the boxes that you do not want to include. Once you have finished, click on the X to close the window. For step 4, select the implementation group, or IG, that you want to view controls and safeguards for. You can hover over the bubble within each implementation group to see a description of each. You can see in this image that I have selected implementation group 1. For step 5, use the drop-down arrows for each safeguard to learn more about them and the mappings based on the framework you selected. If you do not think the safeguard is applicable for your organization, uncheck the box. For step 6, as you scroll down the page, you'll see a footer that gives you the option to reset your selection or export the selection to a spreadsheet. Use the drop-down arrows for each safeguard to learn more about them and the mappings based on the framework you selected. If you do not think the safeguard is applicable to your organization, uncheck the box. Further to step 6, if you downloaded the spreadsheet, open in Excel and review the output. You'll see the CIS control number, the safeguard, title, asset type, implementation group, description, and the mapping to the framework you selected previously. We'll now go into a demo of what we have learnt in this lesson. So we are on the Controls Navigator homepage, and you can see here at the CIS controls version, there's an option for version 8.1, 8 or 7.1, so select the version that is applicable to your organization for the control version you're currently using. Or if you're using older versions, you can click on this link to access the older versions via the CIS Workbench. Now this will require that if you haven't already registered with CIS, you'll need to register. You can see on the right here, it's got this navigation pane, and you are able to click on each step. So you can see what is required in each of the steps, which we've already gone through in this presentation. The mappings. If you click on the down arrow, you'll see a list of all of the frameworks that you can select. Now, you'll need to select the framework which is applicable to your organization. You might have only one, or you might have multiple, but if you select one, and we'll use here the NIST Cybersecurity Framework version 2, and if you see and click on the See Details, you'll see that by default all of the categories are selected. Just for your reference, if you're not familiar with the cybersecurity framework, the initial 2 letters indicate the security function, the cybersecurity framework function that is applicable for this reference. So for example, DE means detect, GV is govern, ID is identify, PR is protect, RC is recover, and RS is respond. Now you can select or deselect these by just checking or unchecking the box, and once you've completed that, you can go back and close at the cross, and you can see that the framework option is still selected. And then depending on where you are with your organization's maturity, you can select one of the options here for the implementation groups. So you can see here there's a description. If you click on the bubble for each, I'm going to select IG1, and as we scroll down, you'll see that the option here is available to either reset your selection if you want to start from the beginning, and you can also export the spreadsheet. So if we export the spreadsheet here, you'll see that it's been downloaded, and if we open this file, and you can see that we have the CIS control number, the safeguard within the control, the title of the safeguard, what asset type it applies to, the implementation group. These will be all 1 because we selected 1 in the navigator pane, and the description of the safeguard, and this also shows the reference to the NIST Cybersecurity Framework version 2 and the framework identifiers that this maps to. So for example, this first one applies to identify, asset management, ID01, and identify asset management 08 from the NIST Cybersecurity Framework. So in summary, the CIS Critical Security Controls Navigator is an interactive tool developed by CIS to assist organizations in implementing and managing the CIS Controls Framework. The framework comprises a prioritized set of cybersecurity best practices designed to defend against the most prevalent cyber attacks. The purpose of the Navigator is to provide a mapping to other frameworks, provides a tailored implementation, allows you to track and manage progress, and supports alignment with modern environments. I hope you've enjoyed this short lesson. I hope to see you again soon. Thank you.